Will the new Spider-Man suit be iconic, or is it two bubble domes away from being the Homer of superhero costumes? I'm Sasha Perl-Raver, and this is Screen Junkies News. The Disney Channel aired a special on Spider-Man: Homecoming, featuring behind-the-scenes footage and interviews with the cast and crew. Most of the special offered nothing new, instead providing a look into Spidey's comic book history and expanding on the new direction of the series. But we did learn of yet another new feature of the Tony Stark-designed Spidey suit when it was revealed that it will include, you guys get ready for it, a heater.
What?
It also features Google Maps, massaging seats, and Sirius XM radio. Here to talk with me about all these new Spidey suit features, at least so far, are Mark Andreyko and Danielle Radford. You guys, a heater. I don't want Spidey to get chilly.
And an ice maker.
Oh, wow. That's functional.
Yep. One nipple for ice, one nipple for water.
Well, but does it get that really like chlorinated taste eventually?
Depends on how long he's been wearing the suit.
Okay, so things that we do know. We know that the suit has eye lenses, a drone, GPS, upgraded web shooter technology, web wings, a vacuum seal auto fit thing, a parachute. It's got AI. There's a heads-up display. There is now a heater. At this point, is it just like more stuff on more stuff on more stuff just for the sake of more stuff? Or do you think this is functional? Like, are we going to have like a Spider-Man in space so he needs to be warm?
Okay, well, Spider-Man in space, I'm always going to, anything in space. Give me everything literally in space. Sure. I want Aunt May in space. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, Aunt Bay.
I think that's in her will.
Aunt Bay. Just shoot her ashes into space.
Yep.
You know, I think you get to a point where it starts to become way too distracting with all of the different features. And I understand that the idea is that he gives him the suit and then he takes the suit away and then he learns how to be like a Spider-Man without all the stuff and the training wheels and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm hoping that that becomes the idea and that's why the suit is so silly, but it's sounding like it might be silly forever.
My problem with all this is that we said in the introduction, the Tony Stark designed Spider-Man suit. This is rapidly beginning to feel more like Iron Man 4 than Spider-Man. And part of the charm, and I learned to read from Spider-Man and Sesame Street, so I love this character. There's two aspects of the new costume I love. I love the eyes and I love the web wings. But if we're going to talk about the iconicness of the Spider-Man suit, the best one was Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Andrew Garfield one, because it looks exactly like it does in the comic book with no frills. I just wish, Spider-Man is so smart, I just wish Spider-Man was designing this stuff and not Tony Stark. I get that they're paying Robert Downey Jr. a lot and he's the foundation of this universe, but does everything have to spring from him?
Right, and it kind of, one of the appeals, the big appeal of Peter Parker is that he is this like scrappy kid from Queens who's figured out how to design these web shooters and who's figured out how to sew his own costume. And I like that being a part of the origin instead of giving him, you know, kind of like the hoodie and the goggles, which is very charming. But there was also something even better about a Peter Parker who was able to do things on his own and do things for himself.
Yeah, why does he need a drone? And he's wearing a bodysuit. Isn't it hot enough in that thing already?
Well, it's funny because, Mark, you brought up the word iconic, and that is a word that gets thrown around a lot when you're hanging out with Hal Rudnick. But also when you're hanging out with Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige said that's where we see for the first time what I think is going to be the most iconic version of the Spider-Man outfit that anybody's ever seen, talking about this one. So your opinion is that it was Amazing Spider-Man 2. My question is did they look that different?
Absolutely, absolutely.
They do look super different.
Substantially different. The only thing that would make the Amazing Spider-Man 2 costume more perfect is the eyes. I think the eyes in this, having the sort of the way the old Spider-Man cartoon in the 60s, the eyes moved, is great and gives him a level of emotion. But I don't need, this has racing stripes and the web shooters on the outside and there's lines. It just feels over-designed. The reason these superhero costumes work and are iconic is because they're so simple. There's a purity and a simplicity to it. And having all this shit on a Spider-Man costume, he becomes Iron Man with a spider motif.
What if I put nipples on it? Then what?
Well, he's 16 years old, so then that gets really weird.
That's absolutely true, and I apologize right now.
It's a problem with a teenage Spider-Man.
Yep.
That was weird, and for that. So do any of these features make you more excited for the movie, or do you think that this is just part of like the pre-build?
I'm not they don't make me look less forward to the movie.
Right,
I just think it's kind of like, having cigarette lighters in the back seat of your car. It's a feature that I don't really need and I'm never going to use.
But the people in the back seat did. The people in the back seat needed those.
Yeah,
they did.
It's true. It feels kind of like belt and suspenders to me. Like you're Spider-Man. I want to see.
They're going to be the villain in the sequel.
Belt and
suspenders.
Honestly, that's scary coming towards you. It is, truly. So if you guys were to design your perfect Spider-Man suit, Mark, would it be the one from Amazing Spider-Man 2, or is there another thing?
It would be Amazing Spider-Man 2 with 2 features that I've seen from Amazing Spider-Man Homecoming. It would be the eyes from this suit, and it'll be the web wings, the webs under his arms. Those are from the original Amazing Fantasy 15, and web wings make no sense because spiders don't fly or glide, but it's a really cool image. So that is an homage to the original Spider-Man. I just don't like the thing that happens, and it happens in DC movies too, with racing stripes and just frou-frou for the sake of frou-frou. It needs to make sense and make sense for the character.
Yeah, just like metal gauntlets for no good reason and like weird sharp shoulder pads.
All right, what's your favorite and what would you like to see?
I agree. I think the eyes are definitely the best part of it because he is so expressive. And that's part of one of the things that made Deadpool so great was the eyes that moved and showed expression.
Sure.
For me, my fantasy of what I would include, I want an app that automatically downloads podcasts.
Oh, yeah, so you don't get bored when you're in the suit.
Yeah, like sometimes you're watching people and you want to be listening to, the read or whatever.
You got that AI, so you can just talk to them.
That's true, but that might get a little bit boring. I would also like if you could do Sudoku in the heads-up display.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just a little bit like do. And then he's also learning. It's numbers.
And a fast pass.
Yes, and a fast pass.
So we can swing through the carpool lane.
Yeah, we need those sorts of things. I don't know, you guys. I feel like Heater might end up being something that serves a plot point. I feel like Heater...
Well, now that they've called attention to it, I'm sure it is. But I also one other thing I'd love for him to have is like a still suit from Dune. The guys on the Dune planet. It was like, can he pee in it and it recycles and becomes sparkling water?
Delicious. You guys, functionality. Functionality first. Well, we want to know what your favorite Spider-Man suit is and what you think would be cool to add on. Is it a heater? Is it podcasts? Or is it making, bubbly water out of your own pee? Tell us in the comments below. Tweet us at SJ News. Make sure to like and subscribe. Of course, you can click here for more Screen Junkies news. See you soon. Don't drink your pee.